Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good.
Good. All right, we're going to get started here in just a minute. Get everybody warmed up for Monday.
How was your trip, Karen?
Gosh, it was really nice. I went to Athens and then we went to one island in Greece called Paros, which was really pretty. And then my best friend and I, we dropped her daughter off in Venice, Italy, so she could meet up with some people. Um, so we were in Venice for 2 days. It was really nice.
Yeah, it
Oh,
sounds.
wow. How
I want to be
fun.
dropped off in Venice.
What? If you go to Venice, stay in a hotel and go before June.
Okay.
We didn't know in Greece it's cheaper to book an Airbnb than a hotel. So we just kept on that same path. It was like a last minute trip. And apparently in Venice, it's like an island. So we stayed on the right side toward the Murano Glass Island. And you can only get there by water taxi. There's no cars on the island. So you have to lug all your suitcases around.
Oh, wow.
If you stay on the other side, I guess I don't even know what side that would be, the west side, that's where the cars can drop you off at your hotel. And
Oh,
you don't have
cute.
to pack your trash out because they don't allow trash cans on the island because of the rats, I guess, in the water. And remember, a lot of people in Europe, I should know this because I used to live over there. It was just a last minute trip. So the planning was like very last minute and chaotic. I forgot. We were just lucky they had AC, but they didn't turn it on. So we were like boiling the first day. And the girl said, "Oh, you should have told us." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what?" So it was really, really hot sleeping in there for the first night. And she had it on a governor. So it was like, I don't know, 21 Celsius, which seemed like it would be fine, but it was still very, very warm. But the place is gorgeous. I mean, I don't know how they even built that thing. Um, on It's like on a marsh, so
Hmm,
uh, it's wild how they built it. It's
crazy. Well, glad you had fun though. That's cool. What a
yeah,
fun
yeah. It
trip.
was beautiful, clean, and the people were so friendly. So I highly recommend Greece. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, we'll get started here. Welcome to call. We've got just a few things to go over. So don't forget about our attraction training every Monday at noon Eastern. And then 1 o'clock, you guys have access to. Lars does this training specifically on the $1 million agent method. So that would be specifically around production. So he goes over like lead generation, conversion, presentations, how to track your numbers, what profitability looks like. So those things are covered specifically on that Monday call at 1. And then Tuesday, we uh, invented, I guess, the Tuesday call. It's now called the collaborative call instead of production mastermind. And Janie's going to be hosting this week, and she's going to talk about branding. So your brand is your magnetic superpower. So I'm excited for that tomorrow. And that's at 1 Eastern. So the time did change as well.
And I'm specifically talking about using EXP's Canva templates and using Canva to make everything easy for you.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome.
How do we
All right.
collaborativecall.com? Okay, thanks.
Yep, that one is just collaborativecall.com. Yep. Everything has like a name except the $1 million agent method one. That is a specific Zoom link, but those Zoom links, you can get that calendar. We have a calendar published, but also there's a calendar in the school group that Lars has for all of us at EXP in this group. All right, then just some announcements. Do be sure you're kind of reading your EXP emails and announcements because Right now, we are going to be switching to Slack early. So originally it was going to be by the end of the year. Now we're going to switch here in June. So you should have gotten some emails for Slack trainings. If you want to attend those, if you don't know how to use Slack, but everything from Workplace is going to go away. That doesn't go away though until the end of the year, but new things are not going to be posted on Workplace. They're going to all start to get posted in Slack once that's live. So if you can't find the email, go into Workplace and search Slack, and you'll see more information there as well. And then if you didn't see the email about, we all get to choose our CRM. So instead of just giving KV Core, now we have options between Lofty, KV Core, and Close with a Z. And so they're going to be doing some demos on those. You can also connect with the company directly if you want to. But I think Kendall Bonner is going to be doing these demos or bringing them in. So kind of watch for that. A lot of these announcements as well are going to be on that big agent meeting that happens on Fridays. You can always watch that replay on YouTube. But once you choose your CRM, you've chosen that now, for a year. Or if you were on a team and came off or something and the team was using something, now you would get to choose. But otherwise, you can't be like flopping back and forth. So once you choose, that's kind of your CRM for a year at least. And as we all know, with the amount of work it takes to change a CRM, you don't want to be changing. So kind of do some due diligence up front and make sure that it's what you like, what you'll use. That's going to be the best one. All of them, I'm sure, are going to have features that are missing, right, that you want. So try to find just honestly the best fit for you. And then Summer of Luxury Masterclass and Certification event. Jamie, do you want to talk about this on June 12th?
Yeah, so once a year, this is our second annual Summer of Luxury Masterclass and Certification, and it is so different from any other certification we do normally. It's 3 hours of high impact. We have guest speakers. We have people from different parts of the countries. They have giveaways. So if you've been thinking about joining the luxury division and you don't have the necessary sales, you can take this Summer of Luxury certification class, which saves you about $600 because the certification class is normally $600. And if you sign up to the luxury division within, I think, 2 weeks after that, you get a $500 discount as well. So all in all, like an $1,100 savings. So it's super exciting, lots of fun, giveaways. And even if you don't plan to join the luxury division, I think you'll get some great training about raising your average sales price. So lots of fun.
Very cool. So this masterclass is free.
It's free.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. What a value. Okay.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
certification is like 6 or 7 hours, and we cram it all into 3 hours. So you get the certification and the discount. So
Very cool. And once you are luxury certified, you don't recertify every year, right? You do the membership every year, but you don't recertify. Okay. Great.
and if you end up joining Land and Ranch, you can get there's like a lower price combined discount between luxury and Land and Ranch. So that's the double whammy for people selling high price
Yeah.
land and farm and ranch properties. So
Yeah. And it's amazing the tools in both of these programs, guys. It's like just so
yeah,
cool. The level of, tools, I guess, but also the level of the branding in these two brand. I mean, just look at this picture.
I know it's
So
better.
nice.
Like I was with Sotheby's for 8 years. I can tell you what we're putting out and coming out with is better and infinitely better priced. So
Yeah. Love it. Perfect. All right. We went through that. Okay. So I'm kind of excited about this training because I do some coaching with Dan Martell, which you may or may not know. Dan Martell wrote the book, Buy Back Your Time. I got to meet him actually before he was sort of Dan Martell to everybody else. He was kind of this like software guy that was like doing 100 things at once, it seemed like. And he had this admin that I got to meet, and she was just like, I swear, like 19 years old, and just like, I'm swimming over here. I don't even know what we're doing. We've got this software company. So it was kind of this like mess that he kept working on himself, working on the business, and then later ended up selling that software company. And now he has like a media company. He's an investor in a whole bunch of companies. Wrote another book called Software as a Service. And so anyway, I really like to coach with him. He's got some great things. I love when coaches take stuff they've learned from someone else and then package it in a way that makes sense for them because they used it. Because I think that's how things get infinitely easier, is when people take their knowledge and continue to refine it and make it easier for the rest of us. So we all know social media is important, but gosh darn it, is it not kind of the hardest thing sometimes to think about doing, or your day gets by and you're like, well, I mean, I could have filmed myself filling out my planner or watching 18 Zooms today, so you really kind of have to think about it a little bit, I believe. But we know social is important because we either want to make money from it by influencing people to do business with us, either production, join us at EXP. It might be we just want to share our knowledge, right? We like to share. We've got a lot of knowledge up in here. It'd be great if it would come out. And so social's a good platform for that. And then also, we know it's important, but we want to find out how not to make it hard, right? You know, people that do content a lot, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. But when you think about it, anything you start to do consistently becomes easier. So I'm going to talk to you about some different frameworks as well as how to do content or teach something. And then we're going to talk about the fears also that may be holding you back. So let's start with, what do influencers know that we don't? And I'm not really, I mean, I guess I am talking about influencers that just show decor and clothes, and yes, but I'm just talking about the people that are doing social media at a high level. Here's what they know that we don't. They have a rhythm. So they know exactly this is their job. They've got to get it done, or they know they're going to do a live, or they know what they're going to put out ahead of time. They put some thought into it and have created a rhythm. Okay. Secondly, they're convinced. They're convinced that what they're talking about or what they're doing is leading them to the objective that they're trying to reach. So whether that is reaching more people, making money, sharing their knowledge, whatever it is, they're convinced. They've got some confidence around it. The third one is multiple takes. So we look at people's content, and sometimes if it's super perfect, we're like, oh my gosh, they're just great. Or if maybe it's not perfect, but they did a good job with it, we're like, whoa, how do they do that? Like, it takes me 7 hours to do one little video. They do multiple takes. And even a lot of times, they will say a sentence, stop it, say a sentence, stop it. So they'll do video like that just to be able to get their point across and not have to feel nervous. So don't worry about it has to be one take one time and needs to take, 2 minutes. That will come. But when they were coming on the up, they used multiple takes. They also have figured out how to communicate authentically. And that also comes with practice. So I don't know if you've ever listened to yourself on a video and you thought, oh my gosh, did I say, 20 times, or why am I talking so slow? Or man, that point didn't even come across. That's okay. They're learning that. They've learned how to communicate, which also goes to the next one, unpublished videos. Everybody that that's doing influencing at a high level has tons of unpublished videos. Takes, just reps they decided. They might have set a commitment, like I'm doing a video a day for 30 days, and they may have published none of it, right? But again, we kind of look at it like, no, they're just like amazing right now, even though we know that's not the truth. And then lastly, they understand a framework. So and I wouldn't say this is true of everybody, but now you're going to start to see it more once I show you this framework. And the interesting thing is that when you find you are really into someone that's either, you know, presenting or a YouTube video or maybe even a reel, you'll kind of say to yourself after learning this framework, like, wow, that's why I was into it, because of the proof. So let me show you this, and I'm going to do something fancy today, guys. I'm going to share my iPad and we're going to go through it that way. So we're getting fancy up here on this call. Oop,
Hey, Stace, while you're pulling that up,
yep,
I wanted to say also in the days of AI, when people are getting used to so much content coming at them, um, when you are doing something with video, people seem to be appreciating it more because they can tell it's a real person.
that's
Because,
very true.
yeah, so even if you're not comfortable with video, the people you're trying to connect with will appreciate more because people are generally a little bit, I don't know what the right word is,
Skeptical,
hesitant,
maybe.
skeptical with all this AI stuff. So real video with real people is even much more valuable than it was before.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, can you guys see my white screen here? My iPad. Okay, great. All right, so we're going to talk about the 8-step framework. Okay, and if you want to take notes, please do. Totally up to you. Okay, so the first thing is when you're looking at how to communicate effectively by teaching something, number one, you have to have a hook. Okay, and this can be really easy. Maybe it's easy for you, maybe it's difficult for you. You can use lots of tools to find a hook, but basically, this is what stops their scroll. People decide in 3 seconds whether they're going to watch you or not. So we want to do something to hook them in, to get them to listen to what you're saying. So, for instance, maybe it's like, you know, how to learn something in 2 months that would normally take 12. Okay, that's a hook. That's something that you'd be like, what? Oh my gosh, how do I learn it? You know, everybody wants a shorter learning curve, right? Like, how do I learn it so quick? So that's a hook. Okay, so we got to get them to, we got to pull them in. So number one is the hook. Number two is the challenge. Okay, and the challenge is like, what are they struggling with? So, for instance, like most people, when they learn this thing I'm going to teach, they struggle with this, and this. So, you're calling out what they're struggling with. And that also makes people feel like, oh my gosh, are you talking to me? Like, I just said that, or that's exactly what I think. Or, oh my gosh, other people struggle with that too. So, what's the challenge? It's the struggle. They're struggling with this, and this, right? So they're struggling with something. You're here to teach them about it. They don't have to struggle anymore. Number three is the opportunity. And the opportunity is if you learn this, this will happen. So, again, so far, if we know they have hooked us in, like we're going to listen quick, they told us that we struggle with this, and the opportunity is if I take the time to learn it, bam, this is going to happen. So, it's like the payoff, right? The opportunity is the payoff. What am I going to get from this training? Then number four is the expert story. And I think a lot of us miss this, me included. So you're telling that story like, why should someone listen to you? Or how did you learn this? Or why should I trust you? Right. And so in this expert story, you want to talk about like, what was the situation? So what brought you to this point? Right. Why did you determine that you wanted to learn this? Then what was your struggle? Right. Which may be really close to the challenge number two that you talked to them about. And then number three is what was the solution, right? So You gave them that hook, you told them what the challenge was, you told them if they listen, this is the payoff. And now you're like, hey, this is the situation that I found myself in, and I struggled with this. But I found when I did this, or I listened to this, or I learned this, I had the results I looked for, right? You're gonna listen to this training or story because it's captivating, it's pulling you in. Okay, then number 5 is the framework. Exactly what I'm doing for you is a framework. So I'm drawing, right? When you draw people in. That's why people use whiteboards. They use the what do you call that? Tear off thing sheets, whatever that's called. I can't even think right now. Or they use slides, right? But when you're drawing it for them, then people will tend to also take notes, draw it, and it helps everybody learn more. So you're doing something different than everybody else, right? If all you use is slides, this might be a good opportunity for you. Or you'll see sometimes someone will even just put up like a sticky note, right? Or they will somehow change the frame, but basically you're drawing them back in. Then number 6 is you're going to bust a myth or a mindset belief. So basically, here you're telling people that it's not what they don't know, it's what they believe about that thing, right? So people not knowing what to do is not actually the problem. It's them not believing that they are thinking about the problem wrong. And so that's what you're doing here. So if somebody says, well, I can't create content about this subject because all that training's out there already. Well, we know that's not true, right? Let's take a look at music. If a country artist said, well, I can't make a song about heartbreak, like there's already 7,242 songs about heartbreak. We just know that isn't true, right? It doesn't have your personal spin or your lyrics or your thoughts or your experiences. So you've got to bust the mindset belief or the myth around it. They already know they need to do the thing, but something's blocking them. And that's what you're trying to like get them to see through. Number 7 is the recap. And this sounds kind of weird, like you're going to recap what you just taught them. You know, as a presenter, sometimes that can feel weird because you're like, okay, they know I just told them. But when you actually recap, do this, this, and this, then it starts to get ingrained as well. They start to believe you more. Repeating factors work. So if any of you guys have taken any trainings from John Cheplack, I always say he says, and he says it, I guess, he says the same things like all the time. But after a while, because he can recap his own stuff, you're like, okay, it must be real, right? I understand now. I forgot step 1. That's right. I forgot step 3. So in this case, I would go over, okay, how to learn something in 2 months that normally takes you 12. Maybe you've struggled with not having enough time to learn AI, and you've just struggled with what tool, who to listen to, and then how to incorporate it in your business. Well, if you attend this, if you stay with me today until the end, what you're going to understand is the number 1 tool you need, the number 1 prompt you need, and the rest you can spread out and learn later on. But you need these things to get to where you're going, right? And then you'd start, that's your recap. Okay, and then number 8 is the call to action. So this is something like, comment here, send me a message, or it could be homework. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to create a video today using this 8-step framework. I want it to be only a 2-minute video and you don't have to publish it. But I want you to get in the habit of using this framework, right? That's a call to action, homework. Or if we were on social, I could say comment here and I'll send you this beautiful little iPad screen, whatever it might be. So this is this 8-step framework specifically for creating any type of content. More so when you're teaching something. If you're not teaching something, then you might just use your hook, the story around it, and your call to action, right? If you're doing something really fast, you may not be teaching as much, but if you use this framework, you're going to have more people following you, and also you're going to have the influence grow that you're looking to influence those people with, right? Okay, the next part I want to go through is the 3 fears of content. Okay, so this one, and it's got 3 E's to it. So it's like the 3 E's of content fears, we'll call it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a triangle. So do that with me on your paper. And in the middle, we're going to write easy, unlimited content. So once you get these 3 pillars figured out, you're going to have unlimited content. Okay. Unlimited content. All right. So the first one is expert. And I talked about this a little bit before. Most people struggle with thinking they are not the expert in this field. I'm included in all of this. This is why this training, when he was talking about it, really hit me, because you know how to get a result. You can teach it. You don't have to be the expert. You just have to be one step ahead of what you're teaching. So maybe right now your fear is, I can't teach, okay, this is a good one. Stacie, I can't teach content because I don't even do it consistently. I don't understand it. I am not an expert, right? But there was a day when you didn't even know what you know now. And so if you think back, even to when you first came up with your Instagram bio, maybe, or the fear around creating a reel, or how to create a couple stories a day just by keeping your phone on record, right? There's a time when you either paid to learn it, you researched it, or you listened to how to do it. So take that knowledge and do a little teaching with it, right? If you know how to get a result, then you can teach it. You're not out there claiming to be the one and only expert in this field. You're saying, hey, I couldn't figure this out before. And so I did this and got this result. So let me show you, right? If we could extract everything that you've learned or read and put it all in a pile, like take all of it out, put it in a pile, what would you pay to get that knowledge back? You'd pay a lot of money, right? All your knowledge, you'd pay a lot of money. So this is how I know that you've earned the right to teach it, because you've spent the time and money to do it. So you already are an expert in the thing that you're thinking about teaching, but you're too afraid to do it. So you don't have to be the expert. You be the expert for the person that is looking for you. All right. Secondly, another fear is that it already exists. Whoops, exits. Sorry. Exists. There you go. You think it already exists, right? Why would I do a video on time management? There's already a video on it, right? You should do it because it's going to completely resonate with someone that is looking for you. So the 4 people I can see on my screen right now is me, Todd, Janie, Karen. If all 4 of us taught on time management, would it be the same? No, it wouldn't, right? It would be different. There might be some similar points, but it's going to be different styles, different voices, different experiences, different struggles. And just like I was saying, music, right? Do you know that a lot of songs have the same 4 chords? Like, have you heard that before have you ever seen that video where this guy plays like 4 chords and he just sings like 15 songs, like popular songs? It's crazy. So when you think about that, like, the reason that works is because it's catchy, it's versatile, it's flexible, right? Memorable. And so that's the same with what we're teaching in our content. We can say the same thing, but again, we have a little bit different take on it. Everything out there has existed from someone else, right? The point is to put your special spin on it. And then the last one is errors. So maybe you're worried you're going to say something that isn't correct or not 100% factually accurate because you learned it and you're trying to recall and you're trying to remember all the steps. But look, here's the thing is that you are teaching off of your experience. And so if you're worried about an exact error, you're never going to be able to put yourself out there. And again, these are things that I all struggle with as well. So I'm teaching this to you one step ahead of you, and that is that I took the training and now I'm trying to use it, right? So there are going to be errors, and that's okay. No one is going to, well, even if someone does call you out and say, "No, that came from this book, not that book." Okay. Like no problem. It's your opportunity to engage then or delete that comment, right? But as long as you're teaching from your experiences, you're teaching from how you know to get the results. It doesn't matter if there's an error here or there. We've all made errors and some we probably don't even know we've made, right? People have quoted people have, whatever. So it all happens. So if you can help yourself through your own mindset shift on you don't have to be the end all be all expert. You don't have to worry about if the training exists already, and you don't have to worry about errors. You are going to be able to free yourself to complete unlimited content, and especially using the framework that we talked about before by hooking them in, challenging them on that belief, giving them the opportunity. Why should they learn it? Talk about why you are the person they need to listen to because you struggled with it too. And then bust that mindset belief. You're going to have unlimited influence around the people that you want to be in front of. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. How fun is the iPad? I've wanted to do that forever. It's my favorite. Oops, just knocked over my water bottle. All right.
How
Any
did you
questions?
handwriting? What did you just type it in a handwriting font? Because that looked really good.
Oh, on my iPad?
Yeah, or is that your handwriting?
That's my handwriting.
Oh
But
wow, that looked really good.
oh, thank you.
I
But I
thought
use
it
Notability. Oh, how nice. Oh my gosh. No, that's mine. But I use Notability, iPad app, and then you can write in there and you could type in there, you can pull in pictures. It's a nice like note-taking app too, if you guys ever are looking for something like that. So yeah, very cool. But you could use flip chart. That's what I was trying to say. Flip chart or whiteboard or pieces of paper, or you can use whatever you want. But did it feel to you guys like it's a little more engaging to have something different like an iPad versus just slides all the time? Or, did you guys kind of notice that too? Like, hey, that is, more engaging or something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Any questions about content, or has anybody is anybody here like pretty consistent with it? No, we're all learning. Yeah.
Well, we are with our graphics person. So Karen, you are with the content you're having Gabby create. They have a whole schedule and a system.
We don't do videos. I mean, we do. I mean, I don't talk on the videos or anything like that.
Not yet. We got to get her talking.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that at
But
all.
that's a good start. Just even having someone help you, putting out graphics, carousels. Yeah, even the branding you guys do with Gorgeous Florida Homes, like, all that starts to count. And now it's just putting
Yeah,
yourself out there more.
they have a good system set up.
Wonder if
Yeah.
sometimes if you put too much out there, like there's this one realtor Janie told me to follow. I won't tell you who. and she just had so much stuff out there that it was just, you got bombarded. So then I unfollowed her because it was just too much. Like,
Too much.
and she would have
Yeah.
someone follow her around with the camera, like on her day-to-day life. I'm like, I don't like, what's the point of this? I don't understand. Like, I'm not learning anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You're not her people. She's not your people, actually. Yeah.
well, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of like I'm not, I wouldn't follow her to see what she does in her day-to-day life. But like, I also told Janie maybe we shouldn't post so much, because if you post so much, I feel people like are like just pass over it because they're getting bombarded. So I think there's a good mix of posting. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and remember, people only see about 20% of what we post.
Oh,
But if you like engage with that person a lot, likes, comments, you're going to see them more. Or if you're like paying, like there's like these three people I'm like paying attention to right now. I swear to, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys post all the time. But 3 months prior to that, I wasn't paying attention. I don't even know what they posted, you know? So you'll only see about 20%. And then of course, Instagram and all they're favoring video, right? And sometimes like I'm a person too that sometimes all I do is go through the stories and I don't go through the feed. So it's just kind of, you got to make it work for yourself, right? So you're not going to have someone follow you around. I'm not going to have someone follow me around. But um they're probably only seeing, so much of our content, which is crazy.
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But good point. You know what you like too, right? And it isn't, hey, they just like moved their pen, went to the bathroom, ate Chick-fil-A. Like that's of no
Now
interest to you.
I need to find out who it is.
Yeah. You gotta text her and remind her. Oh, that's funny.
Obviously pay somebody to follow her around and
Yeah.
editing. I mean, it's not like her husband following her around. It's a professional.
Yeah. Crazy.
You
I'd be
don't-
like, sorry, I'm boring. I'm still sitting here. uh, yeah. All right. Well, are there any questions or anything else we can help you with on this Monday?
Don't forget to sign up for the Summer of Luxury if you're interested at all in luxury, or it's open to the public. So even if you have agent friends who maybe you've been trying to talk to about EXP, they are more than welcome to come to the Summer of Luxury and just see what our luxury division is about. And then should they decide to join EXP, they'll be certified, which they'll have that. So
Yeah, that's a great idea.
yeah,
Invite anybody, somebody you've been talking to.
yeah, absolutely. Even if they just come to, learn a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
very cool. All
all
right.
right.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. We will see you either later today on some calls or Tuesday on the collaborative call with Janie talking about branding and Canva. So we will see
Okay,
you then. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
bye.